What's up, guys? It's Mr. C Dubstep, and I'm going to teach you how to make an awesome bass and massive. First thing I want to tell you guys is that I'm sick, so I sound weird. Also, right now I'm working on my EP that will be out soon. As soon as I get a couple people to remix it, I already have a few, but yeah, okay. Well, now let's start talking about the bass. Well, it's going to sound like this. Also, if that was too loud, you should turn down the volume soon. Yeah, well, the first oscillator is going to be a screamer. Second oscillator is going to be a mellow font. And then you're going to pitch that down -24. And then you want the wavetable position all the way to the left and the amp a little past 12 o'clock. The third oscillator you want woody. That's a funny oscillator name. And then you want the amp a little around like 10 o'clock. No modulation oscillator, no noise, no feedback. You want a hard clipper. You want the dry wet around 2 o'clock and the drive around 9 o'clock. And then for insert 2, you want a bit crusher. You want the dry wet all the way up and the crush around 1:30 or 2 o'clock. Now let's talk about the filtering. For oscillator 1, you want it to be all the way to filter 1. And then from the second oscillator, you want it to be in the middle. And for the third oscillator, you also want this to be in the middle. Now, the filter 1 is going to be a scream. You want it to be all the way up. And then you want the cutoff to be all the way up. You want the scream to be around 11 o'clock or 10:30ish maybe. And the resonance around 2. And then you're going to want the volume of the filter around right here, just where you can see the first 2 bars on this up and down filter, whatever this scale thing, I guess you can call it. Then you want the mix right in the middle. Now let's talk about the effects over here. The effects. First one, you're going to want a Bronner tube. Dry wet, you're going to want around 10 o'clock. And the drive, you're going to want it straight at 12 o'clock. And for the second effects, you're going to want a dimension expander. You want the dry wet around 10:30, 11, and the size around 9. Yeah, about 9. Sounds right. And the EQ, I didn't mess with that. The amp, that should all be set. Now we got to do the LFO. Now it should be set as an LFO for you like this. Just come over here where it says LFO, click this, and go to Performer. You're going to want to load, or you're going to have the ratio 1/24, the amp all the way up, and the X fade sequence all the way up. And when you load the curve, you're going to want to load this one right here, the downslope, and don't put it all the way up, because if you put it all the way up, it cancels out the sound for a really short time that you can barely hear. But if you press the key, you can hear it. But if you take it down more like this, the sound kicks in faster. It's kind of like an envelope, I guess, in that sense. Now you're going to want to attach this performer over here to cut off 5. I didn't even do it. Just click and drag right here, and then it should look like this. Then you're going to pull the 5 down like that to make sure it's the green bar and it's on the left box. And then once you're there, it should sound like this. Okay, well now, let's see. Oh, there's another thing we can mess with that I think is really cool, is the pitch. And when you mess with this, I'm going to take LFO 6 and put it on the top box on all of the oscillators. Then you'll take it up 12 semitones, which is a full octave. And then, once you've done that for all of the oscillators, you want to, oh, I got an email, I'm not even checking right now. But, for the LFO, you're going to want it to be a down ramp or a saw, whichever you prefer to call it. Then you're going to want sync to be on, and ratio, you can choose the ratio yourself, but I like 1/1 or 1/2. It should sound like this. Then here's 1/2. You can use this in like a dubstep or a moombahton type song, or like electro or whatever. But, another important thing is the voicing. You're going to want the pan position on, and you can mess with that. And, oh yeah, you have to have unisono on too. max 16. But once you move this around, it gets like wider. But yeah, my throat is killing me because I'm sick. You're gonna want this on mono trait or mono rotate. Yeah, mono rotate. Then you want the trigger on always. So like that restarts the sound when you drag a note into each other. I'll drag two notes into each other and you'll see what I mean. And if you have it on legato triller, it'll just continue playing like. See, it sounds weird. So just have these settings like this. I think I've gone over important thing. I'm not 100% sure if I went over it, but you want to have the mix one and the mix of the filters. You want to have it directly in between. And I'm on a Mac, so you want to hold Option and just click, and it'll drag everything to the middle. So yeah, envelope. I put the attack up, like right on the triangle on the delete thing. I put it right on the upside down triangle right there. It gives it a little bit of attack. So yeah, you can make a whole bunch of cool sounds out of this, and I will upload the KSD in the description. I didn't use any external inserts or AUs or PSTs or whatever you want to call them, effects, distortions, nothing like that. This is all massive. And yeah, so subscribe for more tutorials. If you have any requests, let me know. And subscribe. I just said that. Yeah, well, like this video, and I will see you guys later.